Looking at your list of games, any idea what you're gonna do after? If you look at the stream planning section, there's a bunch of random stuff that I'm like kind of in the mood for. Most likely, I might try Blood Omen 2. But we'll see. I'd have to get everything set up for my PS2 though. I think we need to go back up here. Again, there's a whole ledge up there. There might be a secret worth grabbing. Actually, you know what? There's probably not a secret worth grabbing up there. I don't think I need to go that way, hopefully. That thing probably spawned again, didn't it? I don't know. That's fine. We'll just get soul energy back. Hi. Let's see if there was anything... We know in this realm, time is stopped. I wonder if that's ever going to play an effect again, and in particular, in this area. We need to stop the time at some point. Guess we're gonna figure it out. That was cheap. You're a cheap. Oh. I hope those aren't gonna appear every time I go in and out. I think I can time it to where I could, in theory, like just jump on these. Oh, there you go. Never mind. I don't need to go into the soul realm at all. There's a switch there. It's like, was that a timer switch? I hope it wasn't. Have different symbols on them. I hope the symbols don't matter. I just need to turn them all. They just seem like they're corresponding to what we already did, though. Hey. We are in the final dungeons. We're gonna be just going until we're gone. Until we're done. Look at these nice marble floors. Or is that slate? It's kind of marbly. A dark marble. Ceiling's one of the... Actually, it's granite. That's what I'm thinking of. The ceiling's granite. The bottom's granite. Very fancy. Ooh. It's the trippy room. Are we looking through time? Or did we get moved through time?
My arrival in this miserable age.
Oh, we're looking back.
What trickery is this?
It is no illusion, Raziel, but a glimpse into the currents of time itself.
Look how the game used to look. We go into space. A Studio Trigger anime. We gotta end up in space somehow. Go in space, fight God. Well, that was trippy. Ooh. Well, this one looks more like normal space. And then all the lights just bleed. It's like Star Wars hyperspace. Remember that time when Kain was a jerk and he kept teleporting around the room over and over?
These apparitions torment me. Has this all been foretold?
Have a good night, Parlov. Thank you so much for joining and also raiding earlier. I'll have to check out your streams whenever I happen to be not streaming and you're streaming. Check schedules. Yeah, see ya. Thank you for the good vibes. I appreciate it. I feel like we're there. We're probably like maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes to an end. That's when we learn about our past.
Impossible! This must be one of Kain's deceptions.
I like the jiggly walls. You know what? They remind me of like the paintings in Mario 64. Like after you run into them, like all the ripples. They remind me of those. Is this the future?
My mind reels with conflict. Does Kain await me moments from now? Or in some century yet to come?
Watch that be like from Defiance. Kain was clearly using this place because he knew that Raziel would be going around all the various brethren and killing them. And then he kind of just gave them a warning and maybe did something else. Kind of just visited everybody. Oh, there's that lady!
This cannot be. What madness does this scene portend? Kain must think me credulous to suffer these lies.
Maybe she's evil, or maybe she says, "You need my holy power," and then we suck her up and imbue the Soul Reaver. Who knows? You gotta love when people see visions of the future and they're just in denial rather than trying to contemplate like the meaning behind them. It's like just give an assumption like, well, if it's true, then what does it mean? Because clearly future Raziel had also seen these visions. So I guess it turns out all right in the end. Ooh, it's red. A different kind of red.
Is this phantasm a conjuration of my mind, or an echo of future events?
It's like evil, dark vampire magic. Also, I'm being reminded we haven't saved in a while, so we're gonna save. In the in-game save too, it doesn't really matter. Because that would just warp us all the way back to the start if we were to die. Oh, we'll do it just for funsies. If the in-game saves were actually useful, not like just kind of annoying with where they put you, I wouldn't mind just using those, but they also take a little bit. Area does look pretty cool. Ooh, a warp gate. So this is your last chance to go get them dang collectibles. And also, in case you were to die to Kain, like, actually die, you could just come back here. If your soul were to get smashed to smithereens. So who's to say? Maybe Kain is more prepared now. Because he knew that he couldn't fight Raziel in the spirit realm. So maybe he's got something up his sleeve. Or maybe he has absorbed the powers of all the vampires as well. Though technically, I think Kain had all their gifts already. He had all their gifts and then they all evolved later, except for the wings.
At last. I must say I'm disappointed in your progress. I imagined you'd be here sooner. Tell me, did it trouble you to murder your brothers?
Did it trouble you when you ordered me into the abyss?
No. I had faith in you. In your ability to hate. In your self-righteous indignation.
Lies. You cannot have foreseen all of this.
Eternity is relentless, Raziel. When I first stole into this chamber centuries ago, I did not fathom the true power of knowledge. To know the future, Raziel. To see its paths and streams tracing out into the infinite. As a man, I could never have contained such forbidden truths. But each of us is so much more than we once were. Gazing out across the plains of possibility, do you not feel with all your soul how we have become like gods? And as such, are we not indivisible? As long as a single one of us stands, we are legion. And that is why, when I must sacrifice my children to the void, I can do so with a clear heart.
Very poetic, Kain. But in the end, you offer no more than a convenient rationalization for your crimes.
These chambers offer insight for those patient enough to look. In your haste to find me, perhaps you have not gazed deeply enough. Our futures are predestined. Mobius foretold mine a millennium ago. We each play out the parts fate has written for us. We are compelled ineluctably down preordained paths. Free will is an illusion.
I have been to the tomb of Seraphan, Kain. Your dirty secret is exposed. How could you transform a Seraphan priest into a vampire?
How could I not? One must keep his friends close, Raziel, and his enemies even closer. Can you grasp the absurd beauty of the paradox? We are the same. Seraphan and vampire. With our holy wars, our obsession with Nosgoth's domination, who better to serve me than those whose passion transcends all notions of good and evil?
I will not applaud your clever blasphemy. The Seraphan were saviors, defending Nosgoth from the corruption that we represent. My eyes are opened, Kain. I find no nobility in the unlife you rudely forced on my unwilling corpse.
You may have uncovered your past, but you know nothing of it. You think the Seraphan were noble, altruistic? Don't be simple. Their agenda was the same as ours.
You are lost in a maze of moral relativism, Kain. These apparitions and portents. What game are you playing now?
Destiny is a game, is it not? And now, you await my latest move.
Well, we're gonna save just in case there's like dialogue issues or anything. Got him. Uh-oh. He's moving time around. Presumably. Be on the second level now. Where is he? Oh, he was on the right. Okay, so he's still doing the same old thing. But this time we have a healing thing right in the middle. I don't know if that healing thing was there before. I'm gonna guess what he's doing is he's trying to teleport them maybe through time. How am I supposed to get up there fast enough? Oh, there's just a whole path up here. He's all the way over there, though. Maybe I'm supposed to shoot at him. I wonder if I can. I doubt I can use my runes on him, or whatever these are called. Glyphs. I could try it to see if I could freeze him, but I'm very doubtful. I think it only works in a radius as well. I think he was on the right. Ooh, I can stun him. Or did that count? I think I need to stun him enough and just like inch closer, I guess. No, it's off. Oh, dude, aim. No, I don't know where he is. Okay, this one I don't understand. It's like you cannot climb up there fast enough. Oh wait, well no. I was thinking it's like, what if I stop time and then I have like a head start, but I don't think there's things on these other levels, is there? Because in theory, you could do that and then like jump up and then regain your form. This time would be paused, but that's not really how this works. Let me see. We went through this nonsense the last time, and it was just, no, you're doing the right thing. Just keep trying. Very confusing. Let's see. Your force projectiles don't damage him, and neither do your glyphs. The glyphs do allow you to do is to avoid a hit and stay on the top level, giving you more of a chance of catching him before he teleports away. He appears at random, but you have more of a chance of catching him opposite where you are. So unless you're glyph dodging, don't leave too far from the middle. 3 hits. Okay. I guess maybe I can use them to stop time. Oh my god, he was actually here. He doesn't lock on sometimes. What happens if I use this? That didn't work. I think it's dumb that this thing can hit you through walls. I don't even know where if he's over there. I don't. They said glyph dodging, and I'm like, what does that even mean? Oh wait, I think what they mean is during the animation, maybe you can't take damage. So you can cast it and then try to inch closer. I don't see how you're ever gonna get that close. So he'll just teleport away by the time he's done. This is the same problem we had before, where I'm like, how did they expect you to do this? Where even is he? There he is. You maybe you can like get up there really, really fast. But you just instantly know where he is. If he stands in the same spot. Oh, that was close. Okay. I guess you can get up there just really fast. We'll just have to hope that he's already there, because if you start moving now, it's too late. They don't give you enough time. He's on the right. Oh shoot, I could have had it. I thought I could go away from the wall to save some time. Where is he? I didn't even see his blue from there. That's gonna be a weird close one. That's already not gonna make it. Oh, there we go. You shoot him once you're up. The problem is if you try to do triangle when you're in melee range, then you try to do your finisher. Unless you try to go to first person.
You nearly had me, Raziel. But this is not where or how it ends. Fate promises more twists before this drama unfolds completely.
Be warned, Raziel. Once you cross this threshold, you are beyond my influence.
Raziel,
Redeemer and destroyer, pawn and messiah. Welcome, time-span soul. Welcome to your destiny. Where time is but a loop, a loose stitch in the universal cloth, a streamer might seize upon a chance, a fatal slip, and plunge the fate of planets into chaos.
A streamer. Like me? To be continued. Well, I do say it's time for chaos for my streams. Is he saying see you in the second game? He's saying a lot of things. He's saying see you in the next couple of games. Because the game that came out after this, I'm pretty sure is Blood Omen 2. And then Soul Reaver 2. That makes the most sense to me versus doing Soul Reaver 1, 2, and then going back to Blood Omen, but I don't know. Well, let's check. Maybe I've been telling people lies and blasphemies this whole time. Let's check. No, Soul Reaver 2 did come out after this. And then, wait a minute. Yeah, it is Soul Reaver 2 after this one. Never mind. I was wrong. I thought that they just alternated them, but no, they don't. So it's Blood Omen 1, then Soul Reaver 2, then Blood Omen 2, then Defiance, and then after that was Nosgoth, the multiplayer one. Interesting. Soul Reaver 2 had an accelerated development cycle and was released after 2 years, despite a switch to 6th generation consoles early in the project. It was supposed to come out in 2000, late 2000, which is the year after this game would have released, on PlayStation 1 and Dreamcast, but was reworked and released in 2001 as a PlayStation 2 exclusive, and then ported to Windows. The developer's goal for Soul Reaver 2 was to retain the elements that made its predecessor successful, but they decided to eschew the complete a level fight a boss flow of the previous game in favor of a more narrative-driven approach. The plot is a direct sequel to Soul Reaver, picking up immediately after its ending. And Blood Omen 2 was in development at the same time as Soul Reaver 1. Interesting. While Soul Reaver was still in development, Crystal Dynamics initiated another project, a successor to Blood Omen, and when Soul Reaver team had started work on the follow-up, both games were in simultaneous development. So they were in like planning phases, and by the time Soul Reaver 2 was out, Soul Reaver 1 was out, they were developing both sequels at the same time. Well, there you go. One game down, a couple of games left in the backlog to go. A couple of games. There's a lot of games. Not even just Legacy of Kain. That was a good game. As I said before, I think Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver is a good action-adventure game. And it's mostly memorable in the fact that its writing and voice acting is very good. And also the atmosphere is pretty different. It has a cool setting in a vampire apocalypse. Though it feels underwhelming in some areas. But then again, it's the PlayStation 1. And the PlayStation 1 is one of those eras where I don't really mind it too much. It's like, yeah, they made this, it's a new IP, you know, it's a PS1 game, you can only fit so much on the disc. It's like, it's fine. Hopefully this series won't end up the Kingdom Hearts route. Well, I mean, it does have to do with like weird time travel nonsense, but I would assume it's a lot better written than Kingdom Hearts is. The only parallel would be Kingdom Hearts is like kind of sort of trying to do a grand narrative, but the writing itself is very straightforward and simplistic. It tries to do a couple of philosophical ideas, but they're all just so bland and surface level that they don't really have like a thing to really say. It's just my friends are my power, and that's about it. Now this is how the game originally looked, by the way. on the Dreamcast anyway. You feel they could have went with multiple discs to add more content? The problem with that concept is, what if the game didn't sell well? Doing something ambitious like that, it's a multi-disc game, which means the game's more expensive to produce. You're taking the risk on an IP that nobody knows, pretty much, except for like, you know, the 200 people or however many people ended up actually playing Blood Omen. And this is a different genre, so it's not even necessarily gonna catch the same fans who liked Blood Omen, because it's different. So that would be a huge risk on an IP that nobody knows, to throw in all this extra cost of making a bigger jewel case, of making all these extra discs, and then the game doesn't sell well for whatever reason. That's cool. In the demo, they're actually showing you some of the secrets. It's fun to think that some developer or some like QA tester was in the office and they were like recorded some of the footage. Yeah, I would say in its current state, this is like a good game, but nowadays there are like, as far as the gameplay is concerned, there's games that offer more in that department versus this. I mean, this is kind of like, it has some interesting ideas. I like the fact that you like rip down your cloak and you like suck enemies' souls to restore health. There's not a huge penalty for dying unless you lose all of your life twice, which is kind of hard to do. Because you can just keep swinging and swinging at wraiths and you'll most likely defeat them and then get full health. It's very good in that regard. It's very like player friendly in terms of the difficulty isn't too bad, other than with the Kain fights, which I think they should have given you a little bit more time. Because essentially, if you didn't full book it maximum speed to Kain, then you just wouldn't have made it to him at all. They don't give you any leeway. Other than that, I think the game needed a map. And there's not really much of an excuse as to why they didn't do it, other than just the cost of like trying to make a multi-tier map for all these areas. Because it would have been nice just to have a map. If they ever remake it, put a map in it. Put a map in just any other Legacy of Kain game. Just put some maps in them. I'd appreciate that. Especially with the camera here, it's so confusing to navigate. You like accidentally turn right and your whole camera follows you, and it's like, wait, which way did I come from? And you have to run down hallways. And imagine on the PlayStation 1 where there is like 5 times the amount of fog due to rendering, you know, not being able to render as many things in geometry on screen. You can barely see in front of you sometimes. So just imagine that. and not having a map. Like I'm glad I didn't play the PS1 version. 'Cause I totally forgot there's so much fog in there. Yeah, this is a good one. I liked it. I would give it. What would I give it? It's very unique in just like specifically in terms of the writing and setting and atmosphere. It's very unique. You don't you don't get a lot of these super dark like gothic style games. Especially like I don't think we've ever had like a vampire apocalyptic setting in any other video game pretty much. Like in terms of like this tier, like usually it's the vampires are blending into society. You know, there's secret societies around. This one, no, the vampires have won and they've enslaved most of the population and there's just rebels. I don't think there's any other game out there like this.